Dollar Tree just restocked 12 items that keep disappearing off the shelf within hours, and most shoppers walk right past half of them because they're sitting in the wrong aisle. Today I'm showing you exactly where to find all 12, what they replace in your house, and why your next store run needs to happen soon. You'd be awesome if you subscribed and liked this video. Insulated tumbler with straw lid. This is the cup people pick up, check the price twice, and still don't believe it. $1.25 for a double-wall insulated tumbler that keeps ice frozen for hours, not the thin single-wall plastic cup you'd expect at this price. Starbucks sells a similar-sized tumbler for $18, and the reusable straw versions at Target run $8 to $10. The double-wall construction means condensation doesn't pool on your desk or car cup holder, and the snap-on straw lid seals tight enough that a sideways knock in the car doesn't turn into a spill. Keep one in the car for road trips, one on the desk for cold brew, and one in the gym bag, because at this price, stocking 3 doesn't require a second thought. The straw is on the narrow side, so thick smoothies with chunks of fruit can clog it if you're not sipping slowly. Hand wash the lid gasket instead of running it through the dishwasher, since high heat warps the seal over time, and that's when leaks start. If you see the lavender or sage green colorway still on the shelf, that's the one going first in home organization groups this month, so don't leave it for next time. Acrylic drawer divider set tucked into the home organization aisle, not the office supply section, which is exactly why so many people miss it on their way to grab folders. $1.50 for a set of 4 adjustable acrylic dividers that slide to fit any drawer width from 8 to 14 inches. The Container Store sells a nearly identical spring-loaded version for $12 a piece, and this set gives you 4 for the price of a coffee. Drop them into a kitchen junk drawer and suddenly, batteries, rubber bands, and takeout menus each get their own lane instead of one tangled pile. Bathroom drawers work even better, since the clear acrylic lets you see exactly which compartment holds bobby pins versus cotton swabs without opening every one. The tension mechanism holds firm in drawers up to 20 inches, but anything wider will need a second set side by side. Wipe them down with a dry microfiber cloth rather than glass cleaner, because ammonia-based sprays can cloud the acrylic finish over months of use. This is the kind of item that sells out fast every time a new shipment lands. So grab 2 sets if your junk drawer situation is as bad as most people's. Silicone stretch lids, 6-pack. This one lives in the food storage aisle and solves the exact problem of a cracked Tupperware lid you've been meaning to replace for months. $1.25 for 6 silicone lids in graduated sizes that stretch over bowls, cans, and cut fruit without needing a matching container. Name brand stretch lid sets at Bed Bath & Beyond run $12 to $15 for the same 6-piece range. The silicone creates an actual airtight seal, unlike loose plastic wrap that lets air in around the edges and speeds up spoilage. Stretch one over half an onion or a can of tomato sauce and it holds in the fridge without that sharp smell spreading to everything else on the shelf. They're microwave and freezer safe, so you can reheat leftovers directly under the lid without transferring dishes. The largest size in the set can feel a little loose on very shallow bowls, so it works best matched to bowls with at least a slight rim to grip onto. Avoid stretching them directly over sharp edges like a cut can lid, since a small nick in the silicone will eventually turn into a tear. Once you start using these, the box of plastic wrapping your drawer stops getting touched. Ceramic pour-over coffee dripper sitting quietly in the kitchen gadget aisle. This is the item coffee people are genuinely shocked to find here. $1.25 for a ceramic pour-over dripper that fits standard size 2 filters and sits directly on top of any mug. Hario and Chemex versions of the same basic design sell for $18 to $35 at specialty coffee shops. The ceramic construction retains heat better than the plastic drippers most budget brands sell, which means more consistent extraction and a less bitter cup by the time you're halfway through pouring. The single large hole at the bottom does mean you need to control your pour speed manually, since it drains faster than a triple hole design. But that's also what gives you more control over strength. Rinse with hot water before your first pour of the day to preheat the ceramic, and your coffee won't cool down as fast sitting on the counter while you make breakfast. It's not dishwasher-friendly long-term, since repeated high heat cycles can create hairline cracks near the base, so hand washing keeps it lasting years instead of months. If you've been eyeing a pour-over setup but didn't want to spend real money finding out if you'd actually use it, this is the entry point. Bamboo Utensil Organizer Caddy. This is filed in the kitchen storage section, and it's become the item home cooking creators quietly can't stop recommending. $1.50 for a bamboo caddy with 5 compartments that hold spatulas, whisks, and tongs upright instead of tangled in a drawer. A comparable bamboo utensil holder at Target runs $10 to $14. The natural wood grain means no two are identical, and it looks intentional on a countertop rather than like a dollar store find, which is exactly why people leave it out instead of hiding it in a cabinet. The open compartment design lets utensils air dry fully after washing, so you avoid the musty smell that builds up in a closed drawer with damp spoons. It holds real weight, but overloading one side with heavy metal tongs can tip it over on a smooth countertop, so keep the heaviest items toward the back compartments. Wipe with a barely damp cloth rather than soaking it, since bamboo left wet for long stretches can warp or develop mold at the base over time. Once your utensils are visible and grabbable in 2 seconds, you stop digging through the drawer every time you're mid-pressure. Reusable, produce mesh bags, 5-pack tucked between the party section and the kitchen aisle, which means a lot of people walk right past this one without realizing what it replaces. $1.25 for 5 mesh produce bags in different sizes, built to skip the thin plastic bags at the grocery store checkout. Similar sets from sustainable living brands sell for $10 to $15 online. The drawstring closure keeps loose items like grapes or green beans contained without crushing them the way a tight plastic bag can. They're machine washable, so when one gets a stray strawberry stain, it goes straight into a normal laundry load instead of getting tossed. Weigh them at checkout the same way you would loose produce, since most self-checkout scales read straight through the mesh without an issue, though it's worth double-checking with staff your first time using them at a new store. The stitching along the drawstring channel is the first place where it shows up, so avoid overstuffing any single bag past its comfortable capacity. Keep 2 in your car and 2 in your regular grocery bag rotation, and you'll stop grabbing a new roll of thin plastic bags every single trip. Magnetic Spice Tin Set. This lives in the kitchen organization aisle, and it's the kind of find that gets photographed for home decor accounts the same afternoon someone buys it. $1.50 for a set of 3 magnetic tins with clear lids, meant to stick to the side of a fridge or a metal backsplash instead of taking up cabinet space. Container Store sells a nearly identical magnetic spice tin for $6 a piece. The clear top means you can identify cumin versus paprika at a glance instead of opening every tin to check, and the magnet holds strong enough that normal fridge door slams don't send them sliding off. This works especially well in small kitchens where cabinet spice racks just aren't an option, turning unused vertical fridge space into functional storage. The tins hold roughly 2 tablespoons of spice, so they're built for daily use seasonings rather than bulk storage, meaning you'll refill more often than a large jar. Keep them away from the stovetop side of the fridge if your kitchen runs hot, since prolonged heat exposure can fade the printed labels faster. Grab a second set if you're the type who reaches for garlic powder and onion powder every single night, since 2 full rotations covers most home cooks' regular spice list. Cotton waffle knit kitchen towels, 2-pack sitting in the kitchen textiles aisle, and this is the one Restock that gets lifestyle accounts to post within the hour. $1.25 for a 2-pack of cotton waffle knit towels, the same weave style that specialty kitchen shops sell for $6 to $8 a single towel. The waffle texture actually absorbs more than a flat weave towel because the raised pattern increases surface area, so it dries dishes and counters faster without leaving lint behind on glassware. Unlike microfiber, cotton can go straight into hot wash cycles without breaking down, which means these actually get more absorbent over the first few washes as the fibers relax. Hang them on the oven handle or a hook by the sink, and the neutral striped patterns match almost any kitchen color scheme without looking like an obvious budget buy. They do shrink slightly on the first hot wash, so wash in warm rather than hot water the first time if you want to keep the exact dimensions. Buy the neutral stripe over the bold prints if you want them to blend into a kitchen redesign later, since solid colors and simple stripes stay relevant longer than a trend print. LED motion sensor closet light filed in the home electronics aisle, and this is the item people don't know they need until they've used it once in a dark closet. $1.25 for a battery-powered LED puck light with a built-in motion sensor, similar to versions Home Depot sells for $8 to $12. Stick it to the top shelf of a closet, under a kitchen cabinet, or inside a pantry, and it switches on automatically the second the door opens, then shuts off on its own after about 20 seconds of no motion. No wiring, no switch to remember, which makes it ideal for renters who can't install permanent fixtures. It runs on 3 AAA batteries not included, So budget a few dollars more if you don't already have batteries on hand, and expect several months of use before a swap is needed with normal daily opening. The sensor range is roughly 6 feet, so very large closets may need 2 lights placed at opposite ends to fully cover the space. Peel and stick adhesive holds well on smooth surfaces like laminate shelving, but textured wood may need a small dab of extra adhesive for a permanent mount. Once you've used one in a closet, you'll want a second for the pantry within the week. Glass mason jar mugs with handle. This one sits in the drinkware aisle, and it's become the go-to gift with a candle combo for home decor creators this season. $1.25 for a genuine glass mason jar mug with a molded handle built for hot or cold drinks, unlike the plastic mason-style cups sold elsewhere. Anthropologie and similar home brands sell nearly identical glass mug designs for $10 to $14 each. The thick glass walls handle hot coffee without transferring heat straight to your hand the way a thin glass would, and the wide mouth makes it easy to add whipped cream or ice without spilling over the rim. It photographs well for iced coffee content, which is part of why home cafe accounts keep featuring it. But the real value is that it's dishwasher and microwave safe, unlike decorative glassware that's often hand wash only. Avoid extreme temperature swings like pouring boiling water into one straight from the freezer, since rapid temperature change is what causes glass to crack. Buy 2 or 3 at once, since the handle design means they double as gift mugs paired with a Dollar Tree candle for a complete, inexpensive gift set that doesn't look like it cost $5 total. Bathroom suction organizer. Caddy tucked into the bath aisle, and it solves the exact clutter problem of shampoo bottles crowding the edge of the tub. $1.50 for a suction cup caddy with multiple compartments built to hold razors, loofahs, and small bottles against the shower wall. Similar suction caddies at Bed Bath & Beyond run $10 to $15. The draining holes at the bottom of each compartment mean water doesn't pool and turn into a mildew problem the way solid bottom organizers do. It works best on smooth tile or glass. So if your shower has heavily textured tile, test the suction on one small spot before committing to the full caddy, since uneven texture is the main reason suction organizers fail to hold. Give the suction cups a wipe with a damp cloth before the first stick, since any soap residue on the wall is what usually causes these to slide down over time. It holds a genuinely useful amount of weight, but stacking multiple full-size bottles on one side unevenly is the fastest way to pull the whole thing down, so balance the load across compartments. This is the kind of $5 fix that makes a rented apartment bathroom look intentional instead of like a dorm room shelf. Canvas tote bag with zipper pocket. This one lives near the checkout counter, which is exactly why so many people miss it while they're focused on unloading their cart. $1.25 for a sturdy canvas tote with an interior zipper pocket, built heavier than the flimsy reusable bags most grocery stores sell for the same price. Similar canvas totes at Target's home goods section sell for $8 to $10. The interior zip pocket is the detail that sets this apart, giving you a secure spot for keys or a phone instead of losing them loose at the bottom of the bag among groceries. The canvas is thick enough to hold a genuinely heavy grocery haul without the seams straining the way thinner reusable bags do after a few months of regular use. It works equally well as a beach bag, a gym bag, or everyday errand bag, which is part of why people are buying 2 or 3 at a time in different colors. Avoid overpacking sharp-cornered items like canned goods directly against the fabric repeatedly, since that's the first spot where canvas wear shows. Machine washable on a gentle cycle keeps it looking fresh, but skip the dryer and let it air dry to avoid shrinking the seams. At this price, keeping one in the car permanently for spontaneous errands is basically free insurance against forgetting bags at home. That's 12 items worth building your next Dollar Tree runaround. Stock changes weekly, so if you see any of these still sitting on the shelf, that's luck, not a guarantee it'll be there next time. Let me know in the comments which one you're grabbing first, and if this list saved you a trip to a more expensive store, hit like and subscribe for next week's finds.